I thought my husband was dead, but when I found the hidden files, everything changed. You won't believe who was behind it. Rain clattered hard on the rooftop of the Whitebridge estate, a quiet, upscale neighborhood in Maine. Cecilia, Ward 35, a successful real estate broker with piercing blue eyes and a perfect poker face, sat in her velvet robe, swirling red wine in her glass like it held the answers to a question she couldn't ask. Out loud, the doorbell rang. She wasn't expecting anyone, and definitely not him. Standing at the door was Marcus Langford, her ex-lover, the man who vanished 7 years ago without a word. He looked older, sharper, and like he hadn't come back to apologize. "You shouldn't be here," she whispered, her voice colder than the weather. Marcus didn't flinch, and yet here I am. "We need to talk, Cecilia." "About what really happened the night Henry died." Cecilia's fingers tightened around the wine glass. Flashback to Henry Ward, Cecilia's husband, a powerful older man with deep pockets and deeper enemies. He died in a car accident. Or so everyone believed. But Marcus's reappearance stirred questions no one wanted answered. That night, after reluctantly letting Marcus in, Cecilia poured him a drink. The two sat by the fire, tension thick in the air. "You think I killed him?" she said, more a statement than a question. "I think you know more than you ever said." She laughed. Sharp, elegant sound. "You ran away, Marcus. 7 years. No calls, no letters, no corpse. Because I was supposed to die that night too." The fire cracked. Cecilia's gaze snapped toward him. "What are you talking about?" Marcus leaned in, voice low. "Henry found out about us. But it wasn't rage. It was strategy. He wanted us dead. Both of us. The brakes were cut on my car, Cecilia ... But somehow it was his car that exploded. Tell me, how does that happen?" She stood up. "You need to leave." But just before Marcus left, he turned at the doorway and dropped one final line. "I'm not the only ghost returning. There's someone else. Someone you buried even deeper than me." Door slams. Fade to black. Meanwhile, in a shadowy cabin on the outskirts of Whitbridge, a woman with long dark curls watched an old video on loop. A family dinner, laughter, Henry at the head of the table. Cecilia leaning in close, and her own face, blurry in the background. A face everyone thought was gone forever. Whitbridge. Maine present day. The storm had passed, but the tension in Cecilia Ward's chest had not. She stood before the living room mirror, staring at herself as if trying to see the woman Marcus Langford believed her to be. Her perfectly straight blonde hair framed a face that revealed nothing, not guilt, not grief, not fear, but inside. Her soul was running barefoot through glass. Marcus's words echoed like a bullet bouncing. Inside a steel drum. "I'm not the only ghost returning." She hadn't slept that night. By morning, she'd already burned the red velvet robe in her backyard fire pit. A symbolic gesture. The robe was a gift from Henry, her late husband, the man with a smile as calculated as a chess master's move. A man who'd controlled everything, except his own death. Meanwhile, miles away, tucked between the pine-heavy cliffs of southern Maine, sat a crooked cabin, the kind that didn't show up on real estate listings or GPS apps. Inside, the woman with the dark curls watched Cecilia's life play out on a dusty laptop screen. CCTV footage, private emails, bank statements. "Cecilia Ward," the woman murmured, sipping from a chipped tea mug. "You have no idea how many people want to see you fall." She shut the laptop with a soft click. Then she turned to the wall where photos were pinned like evidence in a detective drama. Henry Ward, circled in red, Marcus Langford, marked with a black X. Cecilia. At the center, like a spider in the web. The woman's name, Lilith Kane, once a personal assistant to the Wards. She had been declared missing 8 years ago after a suspicious house fire. A fire everyone assumed had consumed her body along with the guest house. But Lilith had survived, and now Shoot done watching, Cecilia drove her black Range Rover to Ronan's Deli, a low-key joint that doubled as a rumor mill for Whitbridges. Elite. Behind the counter, Ronan, Everly externalist turned sandwich maker, raised an eyebrow. Didn't expect to see you slumming it here, Ward. I need a name, Ronan laughed. I sell Reubens, not secrets. Cecilia leaned in, voice hushed. Someone's watching me. Sending things, photos, emails from Henry's old address. It's like he never died. Ronan's face went pale. You know the rumor, right? That he had a fail-safe plan in case you betrayed him. Cecilia didn't flinch. She had heard the whispers of offshore accounts of a secret vault, of a blackmail file titled, If She Kills Me. Lilith sat in her car, parked across from Ronan's Deli. Binoculars rested on the dashboard. Her phone buzzed. Unknown number. Did you see her? The voice on the other end rasped. She's panicking. Like we wanted, Lilith replied. Good time to move to phase 2. Drop the box. She didn't ask for confirmation. She just nodded, even though the voice couldn't see it. Later that night, small black parcel wrapped in blood-red ribbon appeared on Cecilia's front porch. No return address. No note. Just one item inside. A USB drive labeled, Not everything that dies stays buried. Cecilia didn't trust it. She never did. A curiosity has a nasty habit of killing more than cats. She plugged the drive into her encrypted laptop. A single folder opened. Inside a video titled Guest House Footage 2017. A document titled Ward Life Insurance Secret Beneficiary, a subfolder named Lilith. Cecilia clicked on the video first. The footage showed the old guest house, on fire, but paused midway in the smoke. A figure crawling out. Not Henry, not Marcus, not Cecilia.Lilith.alive. Cecilia single quotes as breath caught. Then the screen went black and a message appeared. TikTok. The truth is a clock. The next few days were a spiral. Cecilia couldn't focus. Marcus sent no texts, no calls. She started seeing shadows that weren't hers. Woke up to her house alarm blaring at 3:17 a.m. No sign of forced entry, and then a letter appeared in her mailbox. Handwritten, Do you remember what you did? To Emily Roth. Cecilia dropped the paper like it was hot cold. Emily Roth. Another ghost. Another loose thread. She had worked under Henry as a financial analyst. Brilliant, bold, according to rumors. She had uncovered something inside Ward's offshore investments that wasn't supposed to exist. 2 weeks later, she relocated to Switzerland, but everyone knew that was code for Cecilia handled it. Marcus sat in a cheap motel surrounded by old newspapers and maps. He'd come back not to save Cecilia, but to ruin her. You took everything from me, he whispered, watching her face on a paused TV interview. And now you'll know what it feels like to have your reality burned to the ground. But what Marcus didn't know was that someone else had plans for him too. 2 nights later, Marcus received a note slid under his motel door. Come alone. Midnight, guest house ruins. He knew better. He went anyway. The guest house had changed. Nature had started reclaiming. It vines curling through cracks, ashes frozen in the soil. Moonlight lit the outline of the foundation, and there, on a charred beam, sat a file folder. Marcus opened it. Photos of Emily Roth. Her medical records. X-raise. Death certificate. Never filed. Signed by Cecilia. She knew. Lilith stepped from the shadows behind him. You were just a pawn, Marcus. But pawns can still cause checkmate. He turned, stunned. Why now? Because justice has a timeline, and we're almost out of time. Cecilia stood at the back door, holding a revolver. Someone had broken in again. She heard footsteps upstairs. She followed, room by room, empty until she opened the attic door and saw a mirror. Just a mirror, but in the reflection, Lilith standing behind her. She spun around. No one there. Was she hallucinating? Or was this house finally giving back all the darkness it had been fed? 3 weeks later, Whitbridge Cemetery rain soaked the earth like it was trying to wash away the past. A lonely black umbrella stood over Cecilia, Ward, as she watched a coffin she didn't expect to see again lower into the soil. Marcus Langford, gone. Found dead in his motel room. Apparent suicide. But Cecilia knew better. He didn't kill himself. He was silenced. Her hand trembled as she clutched a tiny slip of paper found in his coat pocket. I saw the truth. And the truth stared back. Marcus had agreed to meet Lilith one final time. This time at a public location, the abandoned community theater they used to rehearse in during their college days. We could have been on Broadway, remember? Marcus chuckled bitterly. Instead, we're rewriting someone else's script. Lilith handed him a hard drive. It's all there, the offshore accounts, the ghost shell companies. Henry didn't just steal money. He stole lives. And Cecilia? He asked. Lilith paused, then said something Marcus never expected. She wasn't the villain. She was the weapon. Marcus plugged in the drive at the motel. The files were horrifying. Videos of Henry Ward orchestrating scams across 5 countries. Evidence that Emily Roth tried to go to the authorities and was buried. Not by Cecilia, but by Henry himself. The life insurance file. A hidden clause. If anything happened to Henry, Cecilia would take the fall. Legally and publicly, he'd planned it all. Every move, every betrayal. Cecilia was not the Black Widow. She was the scapegoat. And Marcus. It helped him set the trap. The guilt, bearable. Lilith wasn't done. With Marcus dead, she turned her focus to the last piece of the puzzle. Cecilia. She mailed the hard drive to every major news outlet on the East Coast anonymously. And then she vanished again. She vanished again. Some say she boarded a one-way ferry to Iceland. Others claim she burned the cabin and disappeared into the woods. Only one thing was clear. Justice didn't need applause. It just needed truth. Cecilia stood in front of the media the day after the leaked. Cameras flashed. Questions rained down. She held up a photo, one of Henry, smiling with Marcus and Emily. This is the face of a respected man. This is also the face of a monster. I was married to him. I believed him, and I paid for that belief with every piece of my soul. Then she walked off the stage. No lawyers, no security. No script. Just a woman finally free. 3 days later, a construction crew dug up the old guest house foundation to lay a new one. Under the scorched beams, a hidden trapdoor. Inside it, skeleton. Female. Identified as Emily Roth. But wait, how? Lilith had shown proof Emily was alive, hadn't she? Or was Lilith never who she claimed to be? Was the woman calling herself Lilith Kane actually Emily Roth, back from the dead? Under a new name, orchestrating revenge under the guise of justice. Cecilia received one final package. Inside, a mirror and a note taped to the glass. Monsters come in mirrors, so do survivors. The end. If you were Cecilia, would you disappear and start over? Or fight to rebuild your name and face the world? Head on. Drop your thoughts in the comments. We read every single one. If this story kept you hooked till the last line, then you need to hit that subscribe button right now, because we brings you drama, mystery, and mind-bending plot twists every day. Like, share. And remember, sometimes the real ghost is the truth itself.